anything, that'd be the first thing I'd like to say. But before we sit down and relax, I have a few questions that I'd like to ask that involve people standing up if you fit the answers. The first one is, do you know an elderly person with arthritis? If you know an elderly person with arthritis, stand on up. Whoa, okay. It's like everywhere. Can I ask the lady here in the wonderful purple and blue shirt, who do you know that has arthritis? What elderly person do you know? Your mother-in-law. Can I ask what arthritis she has? Do you know? You don't know, it's okay. The gentleman at the back there with the blue and white striped shirt, can I ask you, who do you know that has arthritis that is elderly?
My mother.
Your mother?
In her fingers.
In her fingers? Oh, okay, yes. That's a common arthritis in elderly people, that's right. The next question is, so you can sit down. Unless you fit the next question, which is, do you have arthritis? Please don't say I'm the only one. Come on. Yeah! We got some followers. Can I ask the lady with the lovely blue earrings, where do you have arthritis, or what sort of arthritis do you have? In your fingers, osteoarthritis, yes. And the gentleman standing next to it. In your fingers as well. Thank you, you can sit down. Oh, sorry, the man in the blue, it's my father. In your big toe. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. The next question is, do you know a young person with arthritis?
Yes.
Yes, my posse can stand up, that's fine. Anybody else over this side? Well, you do. Everybody should stand up because you know me. So everybody stands up. You know me now, you're all my friends. If you're wearing blue, you should have already have known, but you didn't know, so that's okay, but now you know. So yes, you do know a young person with arthritis, and that is me. That's right, this young, energetic, healthy-looking person in front of you does suffer with arthritis. You can all sit down. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you've already learnt something as well, even about your friends. So when I meet people and they ask me, more about my arthritis, the first question that I always get asked is, how do you get arthritis? It's a pretty obvious question, of course, but I don't have an answer because nobody actually knows. As I asked before about if you know anybody that's elderly that has it, elderly arthritis and kids arthritis is very different because when you're a child and you get arthritis, it affects you while you're growing, and that's the most important stages of your life. Rather when you're elderly, you sort of stop growing by then, so it just affects the joints that you already have. You can see a little explanation down the bottom. Probably an easy way to explain this to you is with the ants there. If you have ants that come into your house, who in here gets those pesky ants that come into their house? Put your hand up. They're so annoying and you can't get rid of them. That's right, you just can't get rid of them until you find the source of where those ants come from, am I right? You can't kill them until you find where they come from. In this case, the ants are coming from that little crack under the window. That's the source. And that is sort of like kids' arthritis. If you find the source of how the kids get the arthritis, you'll be able to find the cure. The next question I get asked is, how common is it? How many kids get arthritis? I'll let you read that and sort of let that sink in for a bit. It is the second most common childhood disease. Not the 5th, the 10th, or the 134th. It is the second. It means that if we had 10 kids in here today, I think I might be one of the youngest, but if we all stood up and there was 10 kids, 2 of them would have arthritis. It is that common. You just don't know about it. And the reasons why you wouldn't is because they have it, but they don't know about it yet. This is due to lack of awareness, and they just don't know the signs and symptoms of the arthritis. The next one is, too far, too many baby photos. Keep it secret. They don't like to tell others because they fear of being bullied. And, they get called an old person, because probably most of you, before you got here, didn't know that kids get it as well. So their fear of being called an old person due to the lack of awareness, and it does happen, and it's sad. The next one is they have it, but they don't know it yet, meaning it will happen, but because there's no sort of medical and scientists and all that sort of stuff, they don't know how they get it, so they don't know how to prevent it from happening. The next one is, how long have you had it for, Sarah? Well, does anybody want to guess who isn't in my posse how old I might be? Or have I already written it up there? No, I haven't. Okay. How old do you reckon I am? 3 years old? No, me right here. Oh, the one in there. Yes, I'm probably 3 up there, yes. Thank you. I didn't think I looked that young. Thank you. No, does anybody over this side want to take a guess how old you think I am? Come on, take a shot at it. It's okay. If you call me 15, it's fine. So I'm not 15. There you go. Anybody? 18. 18? No, but thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Anybody else over here? See you staring at me intently. Take a guess. Yes! Yes! Round of applause to the man who knows how old I am. Yay! I always get called 15, so that's a good change for us. I'm actually 20, that's right. And I'm actually turning 21 in November, and it makes me feel really old because, like, all the little kids are, yes, I feel old, whatever. Because all the little kids, like, they're in primary school and stuff, they're all growing up, and you're like, oh, this must be what it feels like to be 50. Sorry. Well, because I've had it all my life, I know no other way of living, thinking, feeling, or doing. Going and staying in hospital, having injections, infusion, doctors poking and prodding me with all their hospital needles, gadgets, and things that they've only just invented to see what would happen. AKA, I introduce you to the medical guinea pig of juvenile arthritis. Yes, that's me. Now leads me to the next question, which is the hardest question of all, the one that I have the most trouble explaining to people about and opening up about. I've got a big part of my life believing that nobody cares. Nobody cares about the experiences I've been through and the crazy life things that have happened to me with my arthritis. And I believe that this has come from the lack of awareness about that people don't know about this horrible crippling disease that so many kids suffer with, arthritis. With like doctors and nurses and workmates and classmates, they all laugh at you in society. They make jokes about how I do things, how I am, and how the arthritis has just sort of made me to be. On my next slide, there's a list of things that most people would probably find really easy to do, like driving a car, getting out of bed, going shopping. But I sort of have to think about a bit more due to my arthritis. For example, when you're driving a car to work, we'll say, you get in the car, put your seatbelt on, you close the door, that would be handy. Put your seatbelt on, do all your little things with your gear stick, and off you go, and you stop at traffic lights, you get angry at that person that nearly hit into you, you turn right, you turn left, you stop at traffic lights, and you end up at work. For me, it's a lot harder than that. Yes, I have to deal with all the angry people on the road. But I also have to be very aware of what's going on around me. I'm half blind because of my arthritis. So if you know me very well, I'm very good at knowing what's going on around me before sometimes even you know what's going on around you. Like when I'm driving, I sometimes get tested by my boyfriend about what colour's the car behind you, Sarah? It's white. You know how I know this? Because I've got to know what's going on around me because I can't see out of one side. And it's just no depth of field either. Stopping at traffic lights, am I going to hit that car in front of me? I'm not quite sure. Am I too far? Am I too far back? All these sorts of things that you probably wouldn't think about. Like you just pull up at a stoplight and bam, you just pull up at a stoplight. It's not that hard, really. Come on. But for me, it's a bit harder than that. Getting out of bed. Who likes to stay in bed when it's cold outside of bed? Come on, put your hands up. Okay, that's like everybody. Come on. Well, for me, yes, that is an issue, but I have bigger problems. I have bigger problems with my joints. Sometimes I just don't want to move. There just days like, nah, Sarah, it's not going to happen. I don't want to do anything. But my brain's like, come on, let's go. Let's get going. My joint's like, nah, it's not going to happen. So I have to lie there. And lie there, think about what I could be doing. And then I take this magical box of side effects that I call medication to help me be able to walk and move and to do the things that I want to do. And then I might be able to get out of bed. It just depends on if my joints want to move or not. And then I might just sit on the side of my bed for a while until you... So see, I make this sound really happy, don't I? But really, it's really annoying. And I just sort of just sit there and just wait for everything to sort of click in and work. Shopping. Okay, who loves shopping? Who loves shopping? Come on, come on. Why aren't the girls all putting their hands up? Come on. I'm not a shopaholic, but I do like a bargain and I do like sale season. And when my friends ask me to go shopping, a lot sort of runs through my mind as well. You know, they're like, oh yeah, Sarah, do you want to go out shopping and we'll go get some coffee and stuff like that. You know, that sounds cool. You know, you guys will probably just have to check your schedules just to make sure that you can in this busy world. But for me, I've got to think about, are there stairs, right? If there's stairs, is there an escalator? Is there a ramp? Is there wheelchair height? What will we be doing afterwards? Is it going to be dark by the time? Because I can't drive at night time. All these things I've got to think about. How much shopping am I going to buy? How much money? No, I don't really need to think about that, but you know. All those sorts of things are just being able to move around and to do everything. You just got to think so hard about, you know, just being able to do it is the most annoying thing. Unless you've got it, I don't really let things bring me down. You know? What's the point of that? I'm described as one of the happiest, friendliest people you're gonna meet. And I don't complain about my problems because this only leads to them becoming worse. And then you become a really unhappy person. And going into a corner isn't really where you want to sit in life, and neither do I. You can see my colour photos up there too. And there's baby photos too, sorry mum. Sorry for baby photos. Even if I'm in so much pain, I will still get up and get out of bed as long as, you know, it's going to take so long to do. And I'll get on with my day. If that includes going to work and limping around or just feeling so sick because of medication, I'll do it and I'll get it done. Now here's for the baby photos and a bit about my life. I was a normal baby, bum shuffled around, and then I walked for 6 weeks, and then I did an abnormal thing. I went back a step and I bum shuffled. Now that's not a normal thing. Anybody in here have kids? Yeah? So you know when they start doing something like walking, they don't go back to the other way and not walk at all. So this was a thing. So they took me to the GP, and after lots more jabs on this little tiny baby, I don't know, that big, and and they were told that their 18-month-old child had what was known as an elderly person's disease. Now, imagine being told that. At the time, there was nothing around of this. You know, people didn't know about it, doctors didn't know about it, you know, this sort of thing. It was a new thing that had sort of come along because most kids had died from having it before because they didn't know about it. From there, my parents were referred to the only 2 juvenile rheumatologist doctors in South Australia. Right now there's only one, and this guy is Mike Gold here. What a wonderful man. I'm still alive because of him. And from there it was a journey of appointments, blood tests, x-rays, operations, endoscopies, sound, you know, all these things that a little baby shouldn't have to go through, but I had to. And here's a tip from today. I'm not a doctor, but I will say that I was put on Nurofen once upon a time for, you know, for my arthritis, because it is an anti-inflammatory. Put your hand out if you knew it was an anti-inflammatory. Yeah, I was on it for a very long time because they didn't know what else to put me on, and I got intense stomach pains, and I grew some stomach ulcers in there. So I would say that if your doctor's going to prescribe you for that long, just sort of back off from it. But I'm not a doctor, so it's okay. And all this was happening, and the arthritis was just slowly spreading through my tiny little delicate body. I'm always smiling in every photo as well, you probably noticed this. And by the time I was 8, I had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis in my knees, ankles, wrists, elbows, neck, back, shoulders, fingers, everywhere. And it wasn't about to stop there. When I was 9 years old, here's a bit of reading for you, so I'll slow down. 9 years old, I was diagnosed with another form of arthritis called uveitis in my right eye. Now, this has nothing to do with the sun, as people first think. It is rather the inflammation of the eye, which is the same as in the joints. So if you ever see somebody with arthritis who has big joints or big fingers, as people were saying, with arthritis in their fingers, that's what happens in your eye, except not to that extent because it's not a big joint. From there, when I was 11, a cataract decided to form and became worse over the years, this causing me to nearly go blind. Eye drops, oral tablets, steroid injections were the ways that the doctors tried to keep it under control. But 6 months later, the uveitis and vision became so bad that it was time to remove it all. Get rid of everything. Lens removal, the pupil had to come out, the cataract had to come out, and my pupil was stuck down. So you can see there what a cataract in somebody's eye would look like here. So it's white, so it blocks the vision because obviously your vision comes through your pupil, and if there's something in the way, nothing's going to happen. And then that's a normal eye there that probably most people's eyes in here would look like. My pupil was also stuck down and still is. So if now you're all going to look intently at my eyes, it's okay, I'll stand here all dreamily. One of my eyes is green. So my right eye, my blind eye is green. Now you're all looking at my eyes. And my short-sighted eye is blue, so that's my left eye. And you may have also noticed, now you're going to look deeper into my eyes, that my pupil isn't round at all. It sometimes looks like a seahorse. I'm not sure what it looks like today. Sometimes it looks like Mickey Mouse. It's just stuck down there, and sometimes it just moves whenever it wants to. It's sort of like your eyes when you go outside. Does anybody know what happens to your pupils when you walk out into light? Push your hand up. Yes. It shrinks, yes. It gets smaller, so not heaps of light goes in. That's why you wear sunglasses as well, if there's still too much light travelling into the back of your eye. So what happens when you walk inside? It's bigger. Thank you, lady wearing blue. You didn't know she's wearing blue for a reason, and now she is. It gets bigger. That doesn't happen with me. It just stays in whatever shape it wants to, and it just sticks down and it just sort of just hangs there. At the time, they succeeded in removing the lens and the cataract, but they didn't at making the pupil move like everybody else's. After being stuck in hospital for 4 days, they allowed me to take my eye patch off. It was a very exciting time. I took the eye patch off and closed my eyes. Now I want everybody to close their eyes. I'm going to leave my eyes open so I can make sure everybody else has their eyes closed. You're going to close your eyes. Right, and we're going to count down from 3. And then when we get to 1, you're going to open your eyes and you're going to be like, yes, I can see! Just like that, okay? Are you ready? 3. I can't hear anybody counting. 3, 2, 1. Yes, I can see! I could see, and it was amazing, and I called everybody on my phone's list, and I was just getting really excited because I wasn't able to see. There was all this stuff here that I could see, and I was like, wow, there's a world over there, you know. It was amazing. It was just, I could see again. But I started to lose my vision again, and within that month, it all had to start again. Now the doctors have no idea what to do with me with my eye. They've tried everything, and everything has made it worse, or not even helped at all. And as you can see in the first Pranks for Kids Arthritis video, one of my volunteer actors decides that it's funny to do little stupid things. Can't do this. Stupid things on my right side because I can't see. So you'll have to go on and check that out to see what I'm talking about. Next one, when I was 12, it was graduating week from primary school for me. You know, when you're graduating primary school, it's very exciting because you're going to high school. No, I don't know. Yes? Well, I was very excited. And it was my usual Tuesday swimming lesson. Now, swimming is great for arthritis. If you know your mother or your grandmother, they might do some aerobics in the pool with all the other old ladies and men. But it just allows, the warm water just allows you to move more freely, and you can just do things that you can't do on land, pretty much. And during this swimming lesson, I was treading water for the first time. Now, when you do something for the first time, it's the greatest feeling, isn't it? You've never been able to do it before, and now you're doing it. So what do? You keep doing it. And I just kept doing it and doing it. I was just treading water. I know it sounds like a really simple thing, you know, just treading water, doesn't it? It's just a thing that you can do in the water that I'd never been able to do. Until I got out of the pool and it started to hurt. After 4 months of intense physiotherapy, because I thought it was a normal teenage injury, the arthritis took over my joint, including the loss of cartilage, the bone osteoarthritis, and stuck in a wheelchair and not being able to do anything. Nothing at all. Just moving my hands and doing things like that. I couldn't do anything that a normal 13 or 14-year-old kid could do. Like, it sort of had a good run for 2 years when I was 11 and 12, and then this happened. I was then put on a wonder drug at the time. It's not actually called the wonder drug, it's just called Emerald. I just call it the wonder drug, but you can call it the wonder drug too now. After having my first injection, I could walk. I couldn't walk for 2 years. Like, going to the toilet, you know, the whole bending down thing, it's really hard for somebody who can't walk and move their hip to do. It's like really easy for you guys to do. But for me, I couldn't do that. And just being able to walk and do those things was amazing. I could go out and do things again that I wasn't able to do before. I cried with joy, and once again, I just told everybody. This is before like social media times. I just told everybody on my phone and texting away. From there, everything started to get better. And then I was put on this other drug here called Humira, which was injected twice a week in hospital by a nurse as well. And as all medications to me, they only work for a little bit and then cause more side effects. And at one point, as we saw on the slide before, I gained 40 kilos. And that was a mixture of the medication just making me want to eat everything and me not being able to do anything. I remember this one time though, going back before I was able to walk, that I was just stuck. Just on the side of my bed, just like this, just stuck. It wasn't that my brain wasn't letting me move or that I was injured that it wasn't letting me move. It was the fact that my hip just hurt so much. It just wouldn't move. I was just stuck right there. Imagine being stuck in this chair right now and having to listen to me. Like, how bad is that? And just not being able to move. And I just cried and I screamed, and I can see my parents right now, they can remember this. I just couldn't move, and this would happen all the time. I had to stand there and I just had to wait for somebody just to come and do a simple thing, just to slide me back on top of my bed. You know, something really easy like that was really hard. And that happened all the time, and that just really just annoyed me. From here, I developed spur. So you can see the spur on the side. It's a little thing that sticks out. That means you can't move your leg all the way out. Like, if we can move our legs out while we're sitting down. Do we have enough? People at the front have enough leg room. They can move move your left leg to the side. There's nothing stopping you. Move your right. That's not funny. You don't hit people. And now try and move your right leg. Like, you know, it's exactly the same movement. You can't hit anybody because there's nobody sitting on that side. But for me, I can't do that. And now there's bone on bone rubbing, and there's cartilage and everything, and sometimes it just sort of just clicks out. Like, I think that sounds really cool, but you know, it just clicks out. It really hurts though, but I still keep going. I'm still standing here. I just still do everything. Now I'm still blind. I have medication-infused lupus, which causes me to change moods, get confused, and get really sick very easily. I have no control over it though. Lupus is like arthritis, where it attacks your body's white blood cells. And here are some celebrities I found out when I googled lupus that came up with that also have it. It's like Michael Jackson, Selena Gomez, Seal, and Lady Gaga. I bet you didn't know that. I didn't know that either. Every 4 weeks, I have a wonderful time off on a day. Yes, I played Monopoly just once, but it involves way too much concentration. And when you play with somebody who's very competitive, like my boyfriend, it doesn't work very well. I just stick to Uno. It's much more fun. And the nurses get involved as well. Yes, Uno is good. You should try it sometime. So I'm stuck in there having an infusion, and it keeps me moving and it keeps me going. It's another one of the many infusions that I have had. But it is, it's sad to say that I am just in front of you here today, breathing, moving around, sounding all happy because of medication. So I've taken it on myself to do kids' arthritis, pranks for kids' arthritis, as well as all the other voluntary things that I do, like hosting and producing my own radio show, which is tons of fun. I also run my own personal trainer business. Yes, I run a business that's a personal training. Yes, that's right. I do personal training. I can actually do exercise, Ask me 15 years ago, or tell me, Sarah, when you're 20, you're going to be a personal trainer. I'm like, get out. No way. Somebody who has a crippling disease that sticks them in a wheelchair for 2 years, that has to not let them do sport for their whole life, is going to be a personal trainer and get big muscles and help change people's lives through exercise. No way, I wouldn't be doing that, but I am, and I love it. And the arthritis is the reason why I do it, because if I can exercise and get big muscles, so can you guys. I also do tons of other voluntary things with the CFS cadets, as my father is the high school group officer up in the hills. Green team, has anybody in here done a green team? Probably don't know what green team is. If you are a schoolie in the last 10-year bracket, you'd know what green team is. And volunteering with the Chunk Uniting Church. I started Kids Arthritis to create awareness about this crippling life disease that so many children and young people have. I did it because there's the lack of support that I've received over my life from the organisations that are there that are supposed to help. Pranks for Kids Arthritis is one of the things and ways that I'm using to create awareness about kids' arthritis. These series of short prank videos that a few people in this room have been pranked with, and they get angry at me for about 2 days and then they sort of get over it, and I'm like, yeah, you got pranked because kids get arthritis. So it's all in a good name anyway, they figured that out and that's all good, eventually. I do these short prank videos with a group of volunteers and myself. We do these videos weekly and they put smiles on us, the people that we prank, once they get over the fact that I prank them on the internet. And also the kids that have the arthritis. It's so great that we're doing all of this stuff and it's creating awareness about kids' arthritis as well. So after hearing all of this and laughing, as the girls in the front have been doing, and just everything, you're probably wondering how you can sort of help kids like myself, even though I'm 20, kids like myself, or just other kids out there, because there's so many of them that now you're probably going to think, does that kid have arthritis when you see them walking along the road? And that's good. That's sort of what I want you to do. I want you to remember that, kids do get arthritis as well. So there's ways up here that you can help. Of course, head onto YouTube and laugh your head off. That's one of the ways that I did sort of meet Belinda and we started talking about pranks for kids' arthritis. I made her happy by making her watch one of the videos about me getting pranked involving my car and 3 boys. It's not good. 3 boys and a car and a girl, with the prank. We have Facebook as well, because everybody seems to be on Facebook these days. You can head on there and you can find the links that way on the videos. And Instagram, because everybody has Instagram. It's where we put up photos and videos and behind the scenes stuff. So you can see me hanging out with 3 guys filming prank videos. It is funny, there are some funny things that happen. So I encourage you to go on, hit like, subscribe, share it around, use the hashtag. Just let everybody know about kids' arthritis, because one day I really hope that the question, Did you know that kids get arthritis? Never be asked again. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening.